Mr. Abdou Souleye Diop, managing partner of Massars. Thank you for being with Atalayar.
It's a pleasure. Like last year, I think every year it's now a rendezvous, as we say.
Barcelona is hosting the second edition of the Africa-Spain Business Summit. Last year we were talking to you in Madrid. What has changed since last year? What is the perception of the relations between European countries, European investors, and Africa?
I think that last year was a first step to really exchange, present, and talk about the relation. I would say pave the basement. And since that, many things have changed. The global environment, because we were under a big stress of the crisis, just coming out from COVID, and having this Ukraine-Russia crisis. Now things are moving forward smoothly. African countries are regaining on confidence in their economy, and we have more and more investment. We are reducing a little bit the debt crisis. So I think the context is more favorable. And the second thing, which is very important, is that Spanish companies are also doing better in Africa, because since then we have some contracts, interesting contracts that have been won by Spanish companies. I'm talking, for example, about the desalination project in Morocco and some other projects. And the third point, which is very important, is that one of the key, I will say, chains of this relation is the relation between Morocco and Spain, because they are the two closest countries of these two continents. And I think that last year the relation started to, I would say, reboot, and since that we have had very interesting visits of Spanish government in Morocco, and also Moroccan private sector and public sector have done many visits in Spain. So things are being built more softly, and we are in a real new deal in the relation between Spain and Africa, and in general Europe and Africa.
You have been talking about Morocco and Spain. How important is a good diplomatical, political, and economic relationship between the two countries to promote trade exchanges with the rest of the countries of Europe and Africa?
Today, it's two countries that are 14 kilometers close one to the other. So it's very important when you have 45% of Spain exports in Africa, which is going to Morocco, and when you have Morocco, which is the first partner of Spain in export and import, to have a very strong relation if we want to build this gateway to Europe and Africa. It's a key in the relation between Europe and Africa, so it's important for us that the relation goes well, and that's the case. When today, when you have this important visit that have been held to Morocco by the head of the government of Spain with more than 14 ministers, most of the discussion was not about only investing in Morocco, but investing in Morocco as a gateway for Africa. And all the points of discussion, and I had the privilege to be part of the discussion as president of the African Committee at the Moroccan private sector, was about that. And even when we came in Spain in January and also in February, we have visited different regions. Most of the discussion with the COA, with the Foment de Trebal, was about this gateway, how Moroccan companies and African companies can, through Spain, invest in Europe, and how Spanish companies can, through Morocco, invest across the continent. So this relation between the two countries is very important for the relation between Europe and Africa, and we try to really use it as an example, because what we want to do between Africa and Europe is what is being done between Spain and Morocco, and it's very important to showcase it and to show to other countries that it can happen. We have this important project in solar, in renewable, in infrastructure, that shows that Spain has a very interesting expertise to bring to Africa. And we have this potential of Africa that shows that it's important for Spanish companies to be more in investment than in trade in Africa. And that's why this relation is very key for the relation between Europe and Africa.
What reforms, what changes do you think are necessary or what's needed to increase the confidence of European businessmen and investors in the African continent?
I think the first point, and it have been discussed a lot during this conference, is about communication. About communication, that means how we brand Africa. You know, the perception of the risk in Africa is much higher than the reality. And we need, as African, to really rebrand the story, rebrand Africa, to make understand to all the Spanish and European investors how the risks are mitigated. And it's important to be transparent in the risk, but also to show what is done in the field to really mitigate the risk, because it's a reality. There are risks, but everything is in place. We have seen, we have laws that have been implemented. We have so these legal frameworks that works really in the ground. When you talk about OADA, which is common law of 17 countries, and the Justice Court of OADA, it's not something just on paper. It's something that is working in the ground, but people doesn't know it. So we need to talk about it. And also, sometimes when there is political instabilities in some African countries, people think that when the newcomers are in, everything changed. No, there is a continuity, there is a stability in the business relations. And that's also very important. And also, it's important to brand what is the new philosophy of African leaders, which is to move from aid to common prosperity and investment. And that's very important. We are open to investment. African countries are transforming their economy. Many are going to industrialization. And I think that it's important to showcase all that, what is being done at the legal perspective, what is being done on a governance perspective, what is being done on the economic perspective, on the development plans, and how we can work together to move forward and to take advantage of this growth in Africa for the benefits of the population, because that's key for Africans.
And we, the media and communication people, we had a job to do in communicating and transmit the reality of the African countries.
Yes, I think it's very important for the media to give another message of what is being done in Africa. And that's why whenever you ask me interview, I come, because you are giving the right perspective of Africa. You are talking about economy, you are talking about progress, cooperation, relation. You are not talking about disasters and so on, because you are focused on this economy, which is really fueling the relation between Europe and Africa. And it's important for the journalists and the media to really give the right perspective. We don't want to hide things. We just want to give the global picture, not only the sad picture. And that's very important. And thanks to you to giving us the occasion to present and to showcase Africa on the right way.
Mr. Diop, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you in the third edition of the Africa-Spain Business Summit next year.
Yes, inshallah, it will be a great pleasure. I don't know where it will be held, but hope that we have done it in Madrid last year, this year in Barcelona. It showcased also the importance of the regions. That's very important. And hope that next year it will be also in another region. And hope also to see you before that and see you somewhere in Africa, not only in Spain.
Okay, we'll see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.